Hello once again, this is Joe from Aether Blade. Third video I'm filming today, showing off the blades. So these are highly specialized ether devices that are crafted around these blades and various sharp objects and sorts that I found through thrifting or through eBay or just came across in various ways. And I wrapped them up with a bunch of ether and specialized taping and various minerals and crystals and metals to make them quite powerful. So let me just stop talking and show them off. So I already showed off all the metal items and all the 3D printed items, but in this box is, they're not just the blades, but they are a bunch of specialized little pieces here. So let's kind of take a look through here a bit more. So, come on. Bunch of stuff. So actually, this is a good way to start. Here is I found this blade on eBay. I liked the handle, and it just seemed nice, and it was really cheap. So it's probably not, oh, it's supposed to be Damascus, and I'm doing air quotes, or if I could. While I say that, it's not real Damascus, but this is kind of how they start. So, of course, the shapes on there is some form of ether. I couldn't tell you which program or variant. And you have the program tape around it as well. So we have, of course, the specialized tape for ducts and whatnot. Am I saying that right? Ducts. Copper taping, aluminum taping. And this is just barely started. So this is how they look in their infancy, is like that. And of course, they can become more specialized. This is some sort of brass fan thing, and I didn't realize the metal's just really low quality, so I kind of gave up halfway through. I don't know, I'll see what I can do with them. I got 2 of those. And let's see. Actually, so now that you see it this way, I'm going to change the camera angle so I can kind of hold them and show them off better. So, give me a second. Put this over here. Come on. Okay, so what do we got here? Okay, well, this just didn't fit in the other boxes. It's just a pure brass. I'm guessing it attaches to the wall and it's like a candlestick, but it's solid brass, and I got it for $6. Can you see that? Okay, $6. How can you not get something this pretty for that price? And it comes apart too. You can like unscrew it in certain ways. So I'm looking forward to figuring that out. That'll be a fun project. Here's one that I have yet to do anything to, and I got this at a antique store. It's I've never heard of this company. It's called Dexter. I don't know if you can see that at all. It's like at the top. You can't. It's focusing on my face. That's fine. That's fine. You do that. But this, I can tell, is a quality metal. It is. And when I make these blades, I like them to be full tang. I believe they call this tang. And if it's full, it means it goes all the way down the blade or handle. Which, of course, the more metal, the better. And when you're holding it, you can kind of feel the energy kind of ripple through the metal. You can feel it conduct. This is half tang, but I can still tell it's a quality piece. So looking forward to doing something with this guy in the future. This thing was fun. I didn't go crazy with it. I just have, some ether glued on with silicone glue, which also can be programmed just like ether. So you get more bang for your buck that way. But it would actually, I don't know what you use this for, but these were blades. They were sharp, and you could kind of, I guess, maybe cut dough or something. But this feels really nice. It kind of has more of a protective feel to it than aggressive. Where to begin? No, I don't know why this is in here. Brass, of course. Okay. And here's another. Where did I get this? I don't remember. I might have eBayed it, or maybe someone sent it to me. I'm not sure. But a little plain knife. As of yet, untouched. All right, now let's get into the more heavy-hitting pieces. So this behemoth is another cleaver. A massive cleaver. And this has all sorts of ether attached to it. And what is that over there? Oh no, that's just normal stuff. But on this side, you'll see I got a little copper kind of end cap there, which makes a nice resonant chamber. And we got some, multi-layered skulls on there, and another little piece of copper pipe kind of taped up. So this kind of has a really hefty, solid effect, more of a protective piece, honestly. It's almost like a big old shield you can kind of hide behind, or use as a shield. So yeah, this piece is strong. Just holding it, just imagine, any of you that have tried out Aether in the past and holding that little piece and feeling that buzz, this is a whole concert of them working together through programmed tape and with a medium of a solid metal, a high quality metal that just allows it to sing spectacularly. And you'll notice it is full tang, so you can really feel it as you hold it. And this thing, oh geez. So the thing is, this knife is exceedingly low quality. You can kind of see a little bit of it underneath that copper mesh. If it would focus, there we go. Kind of. You can kind of see it, not really. This is the handle. I made the handle super beefy, and the blade is so just puny that... So this is a weird piece. It's got this really cool resonant kind of chamber, also copper, near the base. But this one was kind of tricky. The end has a cool hook to it. It actually hooks back here, which I liked, which is the reason I got it. But the metal is not high quality. So I kind of made up for it by adding a ton of Aether. So yeah, this is kind of, I'm kind of a mixed bag, that one. This thing's crazy. This thing, what am I thinking with this thing? So this was originally a grill scrubber, you see the ends there? It kind of scrubs the grills clean, barbecue grill. I also added on another piece, which you can't even see anymore. I think you can kind of, the best way to tell what it was is here. You see that little metal piece, kind of? So there's a, I don't know, a spatula of some kind that goes forward. So it has these straight metal tongs that shoot forward. And the handle, oh, you can actually see the handle. You see that little, this thing? Whoop. That's the handle for it. So this kind of has a penetrating forward, but also a circular scrubbing, penetrating thing going on. I've also added in some wiring. You'll see that there's a wire on there between aspects of the steel bristles. That was hard to get in there. These things hurt, anyways, so yeah, it's actually all the way wired, and I got a little wire down here, and I never have actually done this, but someday I'm going to plug this into a frequency generator and, have some frequencies going through it, and this, you can scrub away negative energy or certain defensive aspects of occultists or individuals who mean others harm, and build up a negative energy veneer. This is a good way to scrub it clean. In so-called, you could say, astral warfare or astral self-defense or whatever you want to call that. I mean, astral is really just one piece of it, so it doesn't really do it justice. This is a fun one. So some of these blades have a really just, I don't know, like, what can you say about this? It's got a lot going on. It's got, a bunch of tape, a bunch of little metal chambers that can hold energy, kind of like a capacitor. Another little metal chamber up there. A bunch of multi-layered skulls and just custom Aether. Thoroughly taped. What does this one feel like? It's actually surprisingly calm and serene despite how busy it looks. It's a nice sized blade. This was definitely a nice little blade, so I went to town on it. Yeah, the blades that have nicer metal and stuff, I give them what they deserve. And after enough of these, they're gonna start blending into each other. But here's another blade. And the nice thing about these is that you yourself, yes, you watching this right now, you can access these remotely through this video. And of course, I am going to provide further pictures and videos so you can really focus on it and not have this guy distracting you. But you can use these mentally, and you can address them pretty much as, you could say, a servant or something that does your bidding. So if you need a certain energy taken care of, you could also use these for healing. You can just imagine dipping it into a person and having it soak up all negative or harmful energies. And of course, you place it within an actual harmful negative person, it just kind of sucks away their reserves of that. And they actually kind of just become a chill, normal person, which really isn't all that bad. I mean, there's worse things you can do to people that choose to harm and torture others. But just disarming them through something as simple as mental placement of a subtle energy device, that's the most peaceful way I can imagine. So I definitely want these to become available to the public, and I will teach you the skills to remotely access these. This is already a skill that I teach in my Bastion private community, but this is just a little brass piece. But I do want you, the people of YouTube and whoever else gets these links, to know the basics. I mean, you guys need to know how to take care of yourselves and how to address people that are subtly vamping you or harassing you or gaslighting you or anything. This piece is, I really like. It's a very special piece to me. I had a really haunting gifting trip on Bainbridge Island about 2 years ago, and I felt like I really might not make it, or I was at least going to pass out. And I brought this out of my shoulder bag, and just holding it and putting all my willpower into it was exceedingly helpful. Without it, I don't know how far I could have gotten. I mean, it's a mix of the resonance it has between these kind of tongs. The sharpness doesn't really do much. I guess it kind of focuses energy, but really it doesn't have to be sharp. And of course, the resonant handle. It's a very unique handle. I think it's meant to go on like a wooden dowel or a rod of some kind. But this is a really cool piece. And I found it by walking to the bus one day. It was just next to the sidewalk. And impressively strong, given that it actually doesn't have that much ether on it. A very powerful piece. Very cool. And it's my favorite shade of blue. I mean, look at that. That's a pretty blue. Let's see. Here's a little one. Or compared to the others, little. This is the a serrated blade, I believe. Yeah, it is. I just remember. So it has serration going on. So the metal kind of, does this. And that alone is also a resonant structure. So it's a bit more resonant than the other blades in a different way. So I like to experiment and try different things. I actually like using this one a lot. It's just nice. I don't know. It's slender. It kind of slips in when other things kind of don't as well. Wow. Oh, yes. I remember you. This is actually also a cleaver. And this definitely has seen a lot of ether action over the years. So, and just so you guys know, I add to these occasionally. I add when I moved to add something to them. And I only place the pieces exactly where they want to go. And if I have a piece and I'm feeling around for where it should go and I don't feel a spot, it doesn't go on. So everything on here fought to be on here. And so it takes a long time to get them this thick. I don't just rush in and start taping junk to it. This is a multi-year project. And I'm not really sure where it'll end or if they're done yet or not. Probably not. There's always going to be ether that will have a reason to be on here. So I should probably take a look at these again soon. But yeah, this is my original cleaver. This was an antique. It was a really cool old little blade. You can kind of see the blade a little bit there. But this was a cool one. I liked it so much that I bought that other cleaver, and now I have two. Well, I have three, but the third one, of course, you saw first. It was not. It was untouched. This is a sigil work antenna taped in a bunch of eclectic tape, a bunch of ether tape to it. A very strong antenna, but not the subject of this video. So, ooh, I kind of like this one. Now this is antique. I got it from the antique store. I can tell. This is solid brass, and I really like it. This one's cool. Not sure what I'm gonna do with it yet, but let's see. Oh yeah, this is a bullet casing from I think World War II. How cool is this? Solid brass. Like, this thing is a beast. Nice and thick. It's awesome. I don't really know what I'm going to use it for yet, but I love it. I don't know. I don't remember how much it cost, but he gave me a good deal. In any case. A lot more than blades in here, huh? This video, I probably should have started a bit differently. Some more brass. So, all right, here, how about this guy? So this isn't a blade. This actually just started off as this. It was just a cute little kind of copper pitcher of some kind, or maybe a vase or something. And then I decided, you know what? I want to keep going. I want to add stuff to this. And so I put in a long bolt and kind of got that in there. And I started slowly making these walls of tape and kind of pouring layers of ether into it until I got to the end of the bolt. And then I was like, well, I should probably stop. But I actually really like it now. I think it really feels complete. And it has a feeling of, I almost want to say wisdom. It just has such a complete, full, warm feeling to it. I don't really know what it's best used for, but it is a cool little piece. Maybe for healing. A good healing piece. Okay. Check out Stumpy here. This thing's awesome. I call this one Ignition. It's one of the few that I have a name for because it's kind of like I imagine driving it in like a key and turning it, and you just get that ignition, that high torque burst. It's a good little intro burst to get things moving. It's Ignition. So that's why I named it that. And we got some cool little brass resonant chambers on there. Do I have any other ones? If I do, they're already all taped up. But I just love it because this is just a thin little blade in here, and it got thick. It got super thick. And I love using this guy. This is probably one of the most fun blades to use. Oh, and how can I forget the cool little copper hat, little spiky helmet on there. Yeah, this one's really easy and very foolproof because you just have to imagine sticking it really anywhere. It could be in anything. It could be a piece of land. It could be your home. It could be a part of your body that's having a really bad issue. It could be someone harassing you, you know? And of course, you're not actually stabbing anyone. It's just mental linking of a device to a person. And you imagine dropping it in like a key and turning it. And it's just a strong start to whatever project you want to get up to. And let's see, what does this guy feel like? It does feel rambunctious. It has kind of a youthful, like, let's go energy to it. Ooh. You guys ready for this? This is the greatest blade of them all. Look at this thing. Look at this guy. I'm going to shut up for a second just so you can really look at this blade. It's actually kind of hard to turn smoothly. It's got a lot of spikes on it. But just notice all the awesome little resonant chambers on there. And they got all these unique shapes and directions and geometries. And it actually kind of has this hollow action going on. You see how it kind of is hollow there and then it kind of comes out again on this side. So this thing is all sorts of just alive. And this was probably the nicest blade that I had. I think I bought this one off eBay, and it was like a antique, some sort of knife or some sort of hunting thing or something. I can't recall. But it had a really cool feel. The metal, I could tell right away, this metal has a history, and this metal is quality. And I originally added a bunch of ether to it that I was researching at the time that I felt had an aspect over time energy or something about time. And so I made this blade to focus on time, so to kind of sap away time energy from those who are here to be parasites or to try and claim ownership over people or whatever, to take away their time currency and to make them not really have any impact on this realm. It's a time thief, but it only takes negative time. All ether is designed to do only positive things, and it cannot harm a positive person. So sometimes I just kind of drop this blade into whatever situation. I imagine taking away the time support and just letting that fall away and using that time, you know, if it has to go somewhere, to give it to someone who can really make use of it. So someone that needs time energy. But yeah, this thing is a beast. I mean, I think I hold it like, where's the comfy spot? Here we go. Like this. This is how you go to war. And I actually use this a lot for very advanced battles or I haven't used it in a while because I don't know, with having Ether Lab and stuff, I just have less need to protect myself at home or to do much of that. I can do a pretty good job of things remotely. But a few years ago, I would grab this guy and really focus on it and do some serious work with it. So those are all the blades, but we're not done yet because there's actually 3 items that wouldn't fit in that box that I want to show you. This one was such a weird thing. I don't know, where did I get this? It was some antique somewhere. Maybe it was at a thrift store. Of course, it's a saw, but it was an antique saw, and I could tell it was old and the metal felt good. So it's hollow all in here. This is all just tape and bits of ether. And I didn't really know how to use it energetically. Like, it's kind of a weird shape to imagine kind of wielding, in the astral or in extra dimensional interactions. So I never really used this guy much, and I should probably figure it out because it's still a cool piece, and I put in some decent work on it. So you might see a video on this guy later when I finally figure out what to do with him. Okay, and you can see why this wouldn't have fit in the box. It's a sword. It's not really a blade. I mean, I guess technically it is. This was a sword meant for healing, and specifically healing. So all the ether on here is not meant to, debilitate evil beings or energies or negativity or whatever. Maybe a little bit of it does serve that purpose because they serve multiple purposes. But it's mostly about empowerment and growth and healing and trauma, and dealing with trauma. Those that are any sort of nerd will recognize that this is the Master Sword. It's a little, it was a gift I got from one of my nerdy friends. This is the sword used in the Legend of Zelda video game. And, I was like, yeah, it's a fine sword, but I'm going to make it into a friggin' ether device, and I did. So this could still definitely become fatter, it's got some empty spots, but, let's see how it feels. Feels good. Very cool and calm. Very soothing. It's a soothing piece. Okay, and I saved the best for last. And I don't even know how I'm going to get this into frame because it's huge. But this is also a sword. But this one is far thicker than the healing sword. This is probably maybe my strongest device of them all. Besides maybe, the Cloudbusters or maybe like a Tangle, maybe. But this thing is, I don't even know where to start. Like, I'm just going to slowly show you. It's got, of course, tons of resonant chambers made of metal, all taped, various gems and crystals, and of course, tons of ether of various geometries. There's so much to show. Like, I can't really even give you a summary of all that's gone into this piece. It is massive. And I capped the end of it, oops, in this like random little bath thing. I think it's meant to like cover a soap dispenser or something. But I put it on the end just to see if it would fit, and it fit perfectly. And beneath that, you definitely won't be able to see it, but I wrapped wire around it as well. And the wire pokes out over here. Can you see that? Kind of poking out? So I could hook this up to a frequency generator and really get this thing humming. But the wire is really just on the end. But I still want to try it out. I'll do that soon. I'll make a video of it and test it out. So, yeah. This thing, pretty much, it can take on whatever I throw at it. And I mean anything. It could be, a city. It could be a planet. It could be a star system. It could be anything you can imagine. Just imagine you as a being the size of, a solar system or a planet or a galaxy. And imagine that this sword scales up with you and you can face down really anything and just take it on. And you can trust in it because it has pretty much limitless power. Like, I've never found a way to use all the power in this thing. And that's really the challenge of these blades. It's almost impossible to use all the processing power that it possesses and is capable of. Just to show you off the handle a little bit. So that's why I want to share this technology with you guys and with all you people. Because I can't use all this myself. I've made this for you, and I've made this for us to utilize these and actually get max usage out of these. So if you help me and if you utilize these for your own purposes, it will, I guess, train them to have more capacity, to be used more often. And as I feel these devices being used, I can see, oh, this needs a little something here to like further the, efficacy of that, whatever's going on. So you would help me by using these. So please don't feel like you're, imposing or you're taking too much. You cannot take too much. It is impossible. You cannot take too much. I have been trying for years and I can't take it all. So, I mean, if you're really good at taking stuff, maybe you're a pro and maybe you can do better than me. But I dare you to take all this energy and use it for something. I dare you. And it's not a trick. It's not a trick. And I just realized I didn't button half of these buttons on this shirt. I kind of rushed to make this video. I'm wearing these like pajama pants that aren't even mine. I don't like things that are red and black. It kind of feels satanic to me. So I don't even like these pants. And now they're in the frame, and now you see. But whatever. I think I'll end the video on that high note, insulting my pajamas. But yeah, the Aether Blades. Please check them out and stay tuned to learn how to use them and more.